Hi everyone, it's Miss Brenner. I'm here to go over our directions for our final essay for our science fiction class, both in person and online. So you can find this information in the final exam week folder on our Schoology page, and within that folder there is another red folder that says final essay instructions. That is the folder that I'm currently in on this video. You can see that there is a PDF of the directions that I'm going to go over with you, a PDF of the rubric, along with citations. The citations include a MLA format citation for our novel Brave New World, along with the MLA citations for Red Card, Harrison Bergeron, and To Be or Not to Be by Kurt Vonnegut. Alrighty, so let's talk a little bit about our directions for our final essay. So this essay is worth 60 points. It is in place of a final exam, which would usually be the day before the end of the marking period. Instead of doing a final exam, we will be completing an essay that is going to focus on Huxley's Brave New World and its dystopian, nightmarish world that it creates. We are going to be completing a paper which you can choose one of the prompts that I'm about to go over, and you're going to build a 450 to 500 word essay, which is approximately 2 pages to 3 pages double-spaced. So in general, you're going to write an essay of at least 450 of your own words, so that means the 450 words are on top of any direct quotes that you use as evidence from any of the stories. Your essay should have a clear, complex, argumentative thesis which addresses your chosen prompt. Your essay must contain multiple paragraphs with a clear introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. You will want to include both direct and indirect evidence that you have synthesized to support your thesis. Your essay must be in MLA format, including MLA heading, works cited page, double-spaced in Times New Roman, 12-point font, with properly integrated quotes and paragraphs. So let's talk a little bit about a thesis statement. Your essay is going to need to include a thesis statement, which is typically the last or second to last sentence in your first paragraph. So you're going to have an introductory paragraph that ends with a thesis, which is a central focal point of an essay that explains to the reader what narrative will be developed throughout the content of the essay. Typical thesis statements are what we call a three-pronged thesis. That means that it will have a thesis opening, so a beginning of a sentence, and then say something of because, and then it will have 3 different reasons that support that initial thought. So for example, if we were creating a 3-pronged thesis about A Midsummer Night's Dream, you might say something like, I believe the theme of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is that the order of life is dependent upon disorder because. Then you give your prong 1, the adult characters repeatedly attempt to control chaos by overruling the views of younger characters, creating more chaos. Prong 2, the characters go through a vast cycle of emotions to reach equilibrium. And prong 3, and the characters eventually learn to accept the disorder of their relationships, allowing them to better enjoy life together. So, although your essay is not about Midsummer Night's Dream, this is just an example of how to create a 3-pronged thesis. So let's talk a little bit about your prompt options. We have 3 essay prompts that you can choose from. The first one is to do with characters as theme. In the dystopian world of Aldous Huxley's characters act as more than just 3-dimensional people. Huxley also uses them to build themes within the novel. Analyze how Huxley uses characters to achieve this theme. Questions you may want to consider: what is the role of the major characters within the book? How does Huxley construct each character in the book? And how do those choices help create the theme? In order to be successful in this prompt, you will not only have to analyze characters, but also assert a theme for the novel. If you are going to choose to do this prompt, I would recommend organizing your paragraphs either in relation to the theme broadly, or organizing your paragraphs by character. So I would either pick 3 characters or pick 3 roles that the characters fulfill within that theme. And that would set up your 3 prongs and therefore 3 central paragraphs. Next is dystopias abound. The prevalence of dystopian fiction continues to permeate American culture. These projects of the future often say more about us as at the present than what may happen one day. Compare and contrast Aldous Huxley in his 1932 novel Brave New World with either Kurt Vonnegut's Harrison Bergeron, Kurt Vonnegut's To Be or Not to Be, or S.L. Gilbo's Red Card. Each use a dystopian view of the future to comment on the present through their use of dystopian controls. In order to be successful in this prompt, you must assert both a theme that may be universal theme or one that is specific to each text for Brave New World and a selected short story. So you are comparing Brave New World and either Harrison Bergeron, To Be or Not to Be, or Red Card in comparison to Brave New World, and creating either a theme that is shared by both of those or a theme for each, as well as the dystopian controls used in each story to support the said theme. You will also need to compare and contrast as well as analyze how each text uses dystopian elements to comment on the present state of society. Once again, if you're doing that prompt, I would consider how you're going to structure it with a three-pronged thesis. However you set up your prongs, that is how I would set up my body paragraphs, so that way it is clear for the reader. Comparison of dystopian worlds. In the dystopian world of Aldous Huxley, the society functions as if it has reached a utopian state, even though the reader may strongly disagree. This can be said of all dystopian literature. Compare and contrast how Aldous Huxley in his 1932 novel Brave New World has created a more or less structured dystopian world than other pieces of dystopian fiction. In order to be successful in this prompt, you must assert a shared theme for Brave New World and another example of dystopian fiction of your choice. So, once again, this can be a universal theme or an original theme shared by both texts, as well as the dystopian controls used in each to support the said theme. You will need to explain the rules and functions of your chosen dystopian world in comparison to that of Brave New World. So if you are doing this writing prompt, you have a little bit more flexibility in the fact that you can choose whatever dystopian world you would like to compare Brave New World to, and come up with a shared theme between those two, and explain how they reflect the world that we currently live in. However, make sure that you give enough detail. I know a large variety of different dystopian worlds, from video games to literature to movies. However, I might not know every specific in and out of the one that you choose, so please make sure that you use enough detail to explain and support. With that being said, whichever dystopian universe you do choose, make sure that the majority of your essay is spent comparing Brave New World with that dystopian world of your choice. There has to be enough balance for me to see that you are truly analyzing them and thinking about their dystopian functions. Alrighty, so those are our three different writing prompt options. Let's talk about our rubric. So it is split up into sections where ideas and explanation, organization, style, and grammar mechanics are each a 15-point category, which gets us to 60 points. As far as ideas, I'm looking that your essay contains a clear and complex argumentative thesis, as stated before. At least 3 of its ideas and explanations are insightful, thorough, convincing, varied in strategy, and strongly supported by compelling evidence. So to get the 15 points in this ideas and explanations, I need to see that you have a thesis, that the thesis is well structured. That's why I think a 3-pronged thesis is most likely the easiest to succeed in, because you already have your ideas laid out clearly for your reader with 3 major points that you want to achieve that you will flesh out within your essay in 3, maybe 4 main paragraphs. We're going to look at organization next. Your essay has a clear introduction, body, and conclusion with topic sentences. Essay uses appropriate transitions between and within paragraphs for consistently clear, smooth, and logical relations among ideas. So once again, with organization, it kind of plays back to your thesis statement. You can have as many body paragraphs as you would like. You do not have to create a 3-body paragraph essay. That's not a requirement for this. However, if you want to have 5-body paragraphs, you need to make sure that you are using transitions and that your paragraphs relate back to your thesis statement and that everything moves in a smooth, logical format so that way your reader understands your essay. Style. It is a pleasure to read. It's graceful, uncluttered, rich and vivid, uses rhetorical and stylistic devices to the writer's advantage. When I say rhetorical and stylistic devices, I'm meaning that you compare and contrast and argue using evidence from the text that support your overall thesis. I'm also looking that you are using language that is representative of a higher education student, considering we are now in upper levels of high school. So I am looking to see that your writing style is appropriate. As far as grammar and mechanics, errors are rare or absent. It's pretty standard. I'm looking for MLA format. I'm looking for grammar mistakes. I'm looking for your sentence structure and paragraph structure. I'm looking to see if you have citations. Once again, if you do not have citations, you will get a 0 on this essay. I cannot grade and give back a grade for this final essay without citations. So if you turn in an essay without a citation page, you will get a 0. And I'm telling you that now, so make sure that you turn in an essay that has a citation page and follows MLA format. Alrighty, so that is everything for our rubric. If you guys have any questions or any issues accessing any of these materials or would like some feedback prior to the end of the course, please let me know through an email and I would be happy to help you. Alrighty guys, I hope you have a great day and I'll talk to you later. Bye.